So here today in Conyers, and as I was mentioning briefly about the zippering form of installations, so what you'll find is that one side of the shingles during a zipper install is always unsealed, as you can see here. So it's usually alternating as it goes down and across, as we find those seams. Some are not in as bad shape as others, but again, as you see, just about each and every one of these is going to be unsealed, pulling on the shingle above it. So with the current condition and the wind having pushed in the problem across the backside here, I was able to discover that on each of these points directly above, you're going to be able to find that as this valley was built, they did a linear line of architectural shingles for your valley base. Should really be a piece of rubber there below everything, what we call nowadays ice and water shield. But as each row is installed, due to the nailing pattern, you don't want to have it close to a valley like this, those nails are going to be really far off, but these shingles are just not sealed, as we can see. There's lots of debris that built up below and behind across these sections. And then you'll start to also see very quickly, there's a lot of rust starting to build up across the nail heads, indicating that we've been seeing problems or issues, and even a couple spots like this in particular, where that nail itself is backing out. So when we see problems engage themselves to the point where rust is developing and we're seeing issues even high up across the shingle, that's going to be a course of about 15 inches off the side valley and about 8 to 10 inches above the actual bottom valley. It's going to be the case and scenario across the entire roof. Once again, seeing it's very apparent how this roofing system was installed, which again, it's called a zippering method. But what ends up happening in these cases, as you'll find, is that debris gets blown in and stuck underneath them, and there's no possible way for those shingles to ever stay sealed once they become unsealed. So even though we see hail hits occasionally across the roof, I'm seeing a mixture of hail damage and wind damage that created the source of the problem we see inside of the water damage from the storm itself. So my heaviest recommendation for this roof would be to go ahead and do a replacement. Again, due to the current condition and style of the installation, with this zippering method, this roof is just going to be like a bag of popcorn. Once you see an issue number one starting to pop and happen, you're going to see that same issue occurring across the entire roof. Again, you can see the debris piled in below these shingles in each of those little pocketed sections. So again, wow, didn't expect to see that. Very severe rust. Probably do have a minor leak happening right there, just not even aware of it, or not enough to come through the ceiling as it's been saturating in the plywood. So again, this roof is going to be needing to get replaced as soon as possible.